Good evening, everyone. Shalom to you all. Welcome to LJ Spurs Chat. Joining me tonight is Danny, Simon, and Big John. What a difference a couple of days makes Spurs fans. Straight into it then. Spurs slipped to their 18th Premier League defeat of the season and 8th at home, losing 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. Spurs have lost nearly as many games as they did in the 93-94 season, when under Ozzy Ardiles they lost 19 games. But Spurs still have to play Liverpool, West Ham, Palace, Villa in Brighton this season.
5 losses.
In a game where Spurs dominated the ball, they paid the price for 2 goalkeeping errors as Forest raced into a 2-goal lead inside the first 16 minutes. Anderson scored the first. And even though it took a deflection off Bentancur, Vicario will feel he should have stopped it. 16 minutes, the keeper came out for a cross, flapping, getting nowhere near it, allowing Wood to head past him. Vicario's form of late is now proving concerns amongst the Tottenham fans. Spurs had plenty of the ball with 70% of possession, having 22 shots at goal, but only 6 on target. The best chances were a Kulu header from a Pedro Porro cross, which was virtually in, but the Forest defender Topolo acrobatically cleared it off the line. And then another good ball in from Porro, played it into Richarlison, whose terrific header brought a fantastic save from the Forest keeper. But Nuno got his tactics spot on, allowing Spurs the ball, being content to hit on the break, something Forest have done all season. The second half, the Forest boss went to a back 5, which told Spurs they've got to try and break us down. The only bright sparks for Spurs were the performances of Taylor and Odegaard, who at least attacked their fullbacks, getting crosses in, something many fans have moaned about when Johnson and Sonny have played. Pedro Porro deserves a special mention, making his 100th appearance, and he did produce an energetic display, firing in some terrific crosses, one of which did find Richarlison, whose good header gave Spurs some hope late on. Ange Postecoglou said after the match, it was a game which we should have won, and some of the football was fantastic, and we paid the price for individual errors, which has hampered us throughout this season. My personal point of view is I've seen some worse performances, Ange, but I wouldn't agree with your view that the play was fantastic. So, Simon, I'll start with you tonight. Was it fantastic?
No. But it was completely unsurprising. It's exactly what I said after the game last week. We did exactly what I said we'd do. We'd follow a decent performance. I mean, it wasn't a great performance, but it was a decent performance.
Evening, sir.
And then we turned up, didn't turn up at all. Absolute sack of crap. And it was the same old story. Start a game too slow, give away 2 silly goals. I mean, the first one, I have no idea what Vicario was doing. And to be honest, the second one, I'm not sure what Romero, Van de Ven, or Vicario were doing. For someone who you know, like Wood, is going to get on the end of crosses, to no one even be looking at him, let alone marking him, is utterly unforgivable. Absolute shambles. And then kind of for the rest, they did, after that goal, they didn't have another shot until midway through the second half. They just sat back, let us play our game, knowing that we ain't really much of a threat up front these days. And it was the same old, same old. We got the ball, we got the ball wide. We put in 52 crosses in this game. Yeah. So 52 crosses to produce 1 goal, 43 touches in the opponent's box, 1 goal. It's just nowhere near good enough. And yes, that was a cracking clearance off the line. And yes, that was a cracking save. But to be honest, nowhere near good enough. And I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's just it's just a Premier League. We're safe. It's done. There's nothing to play for. I'm not even going to show up. But surely these boys have got some sort of pride. We're paying them on average about 70 grand a week. Mental, more than anyone, more than the majority of the people going to watch that game earning a year.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting paid every week to just not show up. It's just not acceptable anymore. And to lose, that's the 18th defeat in the season, which in the 15-16, 16-17, 17-18 season, that's more than Poch lost in all 3 of those seasons added together.
About those crosses.
Now, I know we're talking about a different squad because we actually had like world class or close to it players then, and we don't now. But it's still, the thing I keep saying, maximum effort is the minimum requirement, and we're not getting anything like it.
When you was on about those crosses, Simon, I was going to say this later, but Kuvalevsky came out after and told his teammates they need to take responsibility and consider why they're so vulnerable to crosses. Not good enough. We have to improve on defending crosses, he told Sky Sports News after the game. I know we defended well on Thursday, but we concede too many crosses. Everybody needs to take responsibility and ask why we concede too many crosses. That's fair enough.
Well, my point was more that we had that many crosses and we put that many crosses into their box and didn't produce them.
He's a fine one. He was dog shit.
Kulu? Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Proper dog shit.
See, as Paul says there, he's put second half, I think we looked a lot better. And I sort of agree with that because I was expecting to come on here tonight, and I still am actually, and you three hammer me tonight because you was all saying to me, we're dog shit, blah, blah. And I thought we played okay. I've seen a lot worse performances, but then when I thought about it a bit more, I thought we looked like we played okay because Forest, because of their tactics, which Ange should have known about anyway. Do you know what I mean? By sitting back and giving us plenty of the ball.
Yeah, but the final third, we didn't produce anything, and they were happy to let us come.
Was you happy with the wingers? At least those two there showed a lot more than Sonny and Johnson. But Johnson does get in them positions. I mean, there was a cross from I thought Porro's crossing was outstanding last night. I think it was him that put another ball in, and Tell didn't attack that far post, which would have been a tapping. And I think that's why Ange does pick Johnson. Do you know what I mean? What do you reckon to them wingers last night? They were better, weren't they, John, than Sonny and Johnson, weren't they? Or am I just being a lob?
They was good, but with this taking positives out of another losing game, weren't we?
Yeah, exactly. We are. Yeah.
You know, it's like Frey Bentos. Like looks blinding on the tin. As soon as you fucking open it, it's a dog shit pie, isn't it?
Yeah, but what's the bets in the next game or even the semi-final? Ange will put Sonny and Johnson back in, and that will frustrate me.
Yeah, same here.
I can't stand
Sonny. We ain't missed him, have we?
No. It doesn't matter what we do in the next game. We are getting dicked by Liverpool at the weekend.
We are, yeah. Danny, I saved you to last this time because I'll build myself up all day.
I've not said fuck all yet.
I know. I thought I'd leave you to last.
Honestly, do you know what? I sat there last night and tried to be so fucking positive about it.
Yeah.
But from fucking the team sheet came out, you sent it to me and I looked at it and I looked on Sky and I was like, what the fuck are we doing? It's a nothing game. Why are we still playing Vic? Why are we still playing Romero? Why are we playing Van der Ven? Granted, I know these players haven't had a lot of game time, right? But they've just played fucking Thursday night. Get fucking Gray in there. Get Danzo in there. Give him a few more minutes. Get Ben Davis in there. Get Kingsley in there. Get some players in there. Get more in there. Get some younger players in there. I'm happy with telling fucking Odebert starting in a lot and Kulusevski. Yeah, he was shit last night, mate. He was so far off it, but that's to be expected. He's been out of an injury. For me, last night, it was just an absolute shower of shit, and it's the same boring football week in, week out. I didn't think we were any better in the second half. We've done exactly what we've done the whole season. We've had between 60, 70, 75% possession, and we've created fucking absolutely fuck all. We've had crosses, we've had chances. We can carry on saying those till you're blue in the fucking face. Goals win games.
Yeah.
Scoring. We cannot score. Our top end is so lightweight and so fragile. Yes, we won against fucking Frankfurt. Did we actually create that many clear-cut fucking chances? No, we didn't. We won the game.
Well, it says it all, Danny, when you've had 22 shots, but only 6 are on target.
Okay, you can talk about the clearance, you can talk about the fucking save that the keeper made, but actually, Richie's not that type of fucking player that I don't think he's flaky anyway. He's not going to have that many fucking chances because that's just how he is. For me, last night, it just showed what Sharon shit fucking Spurs are at the moment under fucking Ange. You know exactly what you're going to get from him. Every team knows what they're going to get from him. Every team knows where the space is. They know they know how to play against Spurs. We should have done the homework last night. We know Forest under Nuno do not want possession of the ball. They will try to hit us on the fucking break, and they will take their chances when they're up the other end of the pitch. They're happy. They're such a happy team to defend because they can defend. They've got defenders that will fucking go into everything. I'm not being funny. Fucking, what's his name? Jankovic? Fucking whoever it is. Milosevic and fucking Diablo, whatever he is. They're fucking, mate, they're nothing special, but they're just willing to put their lives on the line. I just don't see any of our players willing to play for the fucking badge. And I was listening to some report about Danzo and all that lot. Fair play to the boy. Like, he really wants to be fucking playing. He wants to be at fucking Spurs.
He just looked rusty last night, didn't he, to be fair?
He did, but
yeah, he's still all right.
I just think that, mate, there's bigger fucking things going on at fucking Spurs at this moment in time. Spurs are not a good team. They're not a good club. The atmosphere, the stadium. I had one of my mates, I said to you last night. Yeah, one of my mates last night said he looked either side of him and there was 6 to 10 seats fucking free. There was so many seats in the South Stand fucking free. They put 1882 fucking in there. They all sit down, fold the fucking arms, don't fucking sing. There's none of the old fucking shelf, all the fucking self in there anymore. There's none of the singers, none of the fighters, none of the fucking that wear their fucking heart on their fucking sleeve. There's none of that fucking bollocks. It's all gone fucking corporate, fucking bollocks. Get the fucking money in there. Since we've been at that fucking stadium, you might as well stuck a couple of fucking handles on there and just poured fucking poison in it, because it is a poison fucking chalice, mate. Take me back to fucking White Hart Lane any fucking time. And do you know what? Because that in those days, we knew that fucking we could get loud, we could get noisy. And there's people in there that actually wanted to go in there, not people that don't know fucking a good fucking Spurs song. Do you know what I mean? I ain't being fucking racist or anything, but it's just fucking packed full of fucking tourists that have gone there probably to do a fucking skywalk, have a little look around the fucking grounds, and now I'll tell you what, we'll take in the fucking package and we'll get a game in as well. They probably don't even know who fucking most of the fucking players are. And that's the problem at this moment in time. Levy has created a poison fucking chalice. And you can go through the managers that we've had, you can go through the players that we've had. We've won fuck all. We are a shit club at this moment in time. And until we start realising it, we ain't going to fucking win fuck all.
Well said, Dan. Paul G's put on there, we can score. We've got 61 in the league. Only City and Liverpool have scored more. That's right. But last night, 22 shots, 6 on target. Right? 45 touches we had in their box. They had to clear it 55 times. Their keeper had to save it 4 times. So, yes, we have scored 61 goals, Paul. But lately, what has gone wrong with the front three, Simon? Because we were scoring goals for fun now, but it's just gone to pot the last couple of months.
It's been like it for at least a month or two, and we just don't look dangerous anymore.
No.
And I don't know if it's ever since it was kind of, we must have had something going up until the point where Solanke got injured, and then we kind of stopped looking dangerous then, and we haven't really looked dangerous since.
Yeah, John, what do you think? Because Danny probably knows this, but I watched a lot of social media today and podcasts today, and I felt a bit sorry for Solanke. He was getting slated because of the goals, what he hasn't got. But he hasn't been given the chances to score goals, has he, John?
No, he's not been serviced, has he? But at the same time, I think we've been found out, if you knock an eyeball over, I think we've been found out up front as well. You know?
Yeah.
We can't break teams down. And I know, yes, we have, like your mate Paul's fucking pointed out, yes, we have scored fucking 61 goals. But the majority of the time, we just don't look like we're going to score.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's a couple of months the problem of this.
We just don't have. I mean, you take Son out of it, fucking, because his goal scoring days are gone. His days, the whole team just looks completely drained. They look like they're so mundane, like they're just robots, but they just don't know what flange or fucking wants them to do. They just look like they are 11 players that have just been stuck on that pitch, and they just don't know what to fucking do. They don't know where each other is. I mean, there's passes going wayward last night. Do you know? It's the same shit every single fucking week.
Yeah. Do you think?
I think that robot analogy is right. They just look like they're just trying to do the same thing over and over again.
Do you know when we get in the final thirds, right? There's no like Forest who are predominantly don't want the ball, but then will attack. When we get in the final third, every team is always back into their defensive fucking positions, right? And we are that slow. It goes back to the fucking Praro, or goes back to Udo Gil, whoever's playing in those inverted fullbacks. The wingers, I know last night, Odebear and fucking Tell, more so Odebear, he went on the outside of them, and obviously Tell's right foot. But a lot of the time, when Johnson and fucking Son are playing, they're either looking for the overlap, they're looking to play back. When they're receiving the ball, they're actually facing the centre half who's got the ball. They're not, the bodies are not open, they're actually facing towards. So by the time that ball's come to them, an opposition player's smashing straight on them, and they've got nowhere. Our midfield all over the place. The amount of times that I've seen Romero and Van der Ven and our centre backs get the ball last night, and our centre midfielder, who seems to be the one Bentancur at the moment, the one that is going to be doing the fucking playing about, he's not a fucking playmaker. He can't bring fucking balls about. He's aging. Do you know what I mean? And granted, he's doing that job at this moment, but he wasn't in there all the time. He hasn't got that engine to go in there. You can't just expect our centre halves to pick the fucking ball up, and then everybody is in the opposition's half is marked. Then there's nowhere to fucking pass. You may get Romero trying to fizz a fucking ball through a gap, and then it gets cut out, and then we're on the turn because our two fullbacks are so far up. It seems like that same pattern of play every single time happens. We don't have like midfielders that can come in and take the ball on the turn and then turn away. Do you know what I mean? Maddison, we've said this for God knows, for season and a half. He is our most creative player. He needs to be playing on the shoulder of fucking Dominic Solanke. He needs to be up there with him. He's the one who's playing those little balls. And he's not spraying fucking 40-yard balls. He's this little nit and tuck player that needs to be in and around that fucking 10 position. Gets the ball, turns, 1-2. You know what I mean? Placing the ball around corners. We just don't have that. We don't have no speed. All this Ange bullshit that we had for 10 games last year. Fucking hell, is that 10 games? Are we still on the hangover from then? Have they run themselves into? Have they run themselves into the ground that much after that fucking 10 games that we now have no energy to play?
And then that thing about the speed as well, because Tell and Odegaard have definitely got the speed. But you watched it last night, and they were trying to go past people, but people weren't anticipating it. No one was following it in, so they were getting there way ahead of anyone else. It's so disjointed up front.
Yeah, so to me, that seems, are they singing on the same song sheet of what Ange actually wants them to do? Have they gone and done that themselves and they're actually fed up with it? Or is Ange said to them, do that? Because as far as I'm concerned and what I can see, and I'm not sure, it's not just me, nobody can see what he actually fucking offers. And I said this to you the other day, Lou. Look, there's a manager, sub's coming on. The manager's got his arm around him. He's talking to him. He's telling him what he wants to do. Who's the man who's going over to fucking the sub coming on some of the time? It's that fucking Jedinek. What's his Jedinek?
Yeah, Jedinek.
Sometimes him or somebody else. It's not fucking Ange. Ange is standing there with his hands going, oh yeah, fucking hell.
Is Ange deluded by saying that some of the football is fantastic, or do you think he's just saying that publicly? What do you think, John?
Fucking deluded.
Yeah.
I didn't see no fantastic football last night. It was an even game. We done well, but do you know what I mean? He's fucking deluded sometimes. This boy, I don't know why he's playing this strategy still. To be honest with you, Lou,
He doesn't.
He don't know his arse from his elbow half the time, does he? I think the Premiership's too much for him.
Yeah, that Matt Lord reported today that he's gone either way. From sources within the club saying that they believe he's going to go even if he wins the Europa League. And I think that's fair enough, isn't it, Si? Even if he was to win the Europa League, he's got to go, isn't he? Because the Premiership, like John said there, I think it is too much for him.
Too fast-paced for him, isn't it? He don't realise how fast-paced.
Is that all aspects of the club are wrong. The board's wrong, the manager's wrong, the players are wrong. It's just like, what is right? Who is doing a good job at the moment? No one is. The players aren't. The manager's not. whoever's doing the recruiting isn't, because it's not like Levy hasn't put the money up there. The money's been there, but the recruitment hasn't been good enough. And the recruitment was, you look at last window, last summer, and we were in the top three spenders. I think we are over the last 2 or 3 years as well. And it's just like, since Paratici's not been involved in it, we've lost all of our, Mitchell's gone, Paratici's not involved. And I think that is our weak point at the moment is, and the thing is Levy, he's like, well, look, I am putting the money in. Look at this. Look at the league table of who's spent. We're right up there near the top. So don't tell me I haven't put the money in, because I have. It's just that we haven't put it in the right place. Whose fault is that, though? I mean, Levy's still involved in that decision, but whoever's in charge of recruiting at the moment, in the last couple of years, you look at it, and I think that they've got some gems in Archie Gray and Luke Bergvall, and in the future they're going to be great players. And I think that Solanke came in and he does what Ange needs from a striker to do, which is press from the front. So that is probably the only right for now piece of recruitment we did last summer. One player, and we were probably 4 or 5 players off of where we needed to be already. And then what we've had to do is we've had to force Archie Gray to play half a season in the wrong positions all over the place. And we probably brought in Bergvall, and look, he's done a great job. I think
I love that. Yeah,
cracking lad. But I feel like he's been rushed into it and forced into it. But I mean, fair play to him. For a 19-year-old lad, he's stood up to it. Yeah, and he's done a cracking job. But you look at the recruitment overall over the last 2 or 3 seasons, and you kind of think,
they're the only two. They're the 2 youngsters. Them 2, Gray and Bergvall, are the only 2 players that are worth their fucking salt at this moment in time. And that's what I see as in from the last lot of recruitment. Vicario, I mean, I'm not being funny. We paid fucking 17 million. What was he? Was he 27 or was he 27 when we bought him? He can't kick. His distribution's crap. He can't command his fucking box. So what have we bought him for? Yeah, he's a good shot stopper. But fucking
would you put Kingsley in for the Liverpool game, Dan?
No, do you know what? I think it's too late to put him in there now.
We just basically, every time it fucks up, we throw him under the bus. And
it won't work. I mean, let's face it. You look at the Premier League now. Keepers are so important. They need to be able to distribute with hand and feet. They need to be out. They're a sweeper.
They are
sweeper keepers. 2 centre halves and your 2 wingers. They're so fucking important. Our 2 centre halves last night didn't command anything. No. I mean, not being funny. Van der Ven's fucking 6'4", but yet he doesn't win headers. He's not.
I didn't know that. I did say that when they bought him, to be fair. Yeah, about Van der Ven. But it doesn't give you any confidence, does it? If as a centre back, when your keeper comes out like that and gets nowhere. If you come out, you've got a clatter players or something.
Your players. If you at the end of the day, if you're a keeper,
your own play, get that punched away.
Yeah. But let's look at it. Last summer, we got him in instead of fucking getting fucking Raya. They wanted 40 million for him.
Wouldn't want to pay it.
Got him fucking 5 million fucking less, and that's the difference. Raya's a quality goalkeeper. Yeah, okay, he's got a fuck up now and then in him, but not as many as fucking Vicario. I mean, the 2 goals last night were absolutely shocking, to be honest. The first one was terrible. I mean, the header from Paro didn't help. What was Kulusevski doing on the outside of the box? He wasn't paying attention. They were actually getting ready to break. I think that header from Paro was actually meant to, if it had gone forward, it looked like all the Spurs players were then getting ready to press. Anderson's got the ball. Yeah, slightest of touches off of Bentoncourt's fucking arse. But Vicario, he's on the floor. He's on the floor already, mate. The ball's gone through his hands. And then a shitty little free kick from their centre half, of all people, has played the ball down the outside, whipped in. Header on the fucking pitch. Chris Wood. Where is it? The back of the net.
And to be fair, Gibbs White had a chance, didn't he, at the start of the second half, which he should have scored. and that would have been 3-0, and God knows what the atmosphere would have been like then. He should have scored. He put it wide. I don't know. It was easier to hit the goal, I think.
I mean, Tell had a similar chance, which was an absolute shocker as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, Johnny, what do you think of the treatment of Archie Gray? Because he stepped in for so many weeks at left back, right back, centre back, and now all the players have been coming back. He ain't got a look in.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting to treat that young boy like that, and he plays better than half the team. Yeah.
He should have started in front of
his right to be in that team, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
And
especially
he's not there. No, that's proper disgusting, mate.
I thought Saul was poor last night, John, your mate.
Yeah, I'm not. I thought Saul played a little bit all right last night, to be honest with you.
Did you? I just think he runs around. I think he's an athlete. I think he's a footballer.
But he's an athlete, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's it. Anyone can run. He just seems to run around like a headless chicken to me.
That's what he brings, isn't it? It's extra energy, but there's not really any end product to it most of the time.
One person out of the whole team is not good enough.
So what would you like to see then, Dan? Regardless of if we win the Europa League or not, what would you like to see in pre-season from the board? And let's just say they won't sell up in the summer.
I think we just need to face facts that these stories going around, whether Enix going, they're getting bought out, Qatar coming in, whoever's going to buy it. Until it actually happens, we just need to face facts that Levy and Enoch are going to be there. Be interesting to see what the new CEO comes in and how his perspective on things may change at the moment. I think for me, what I'd like to see, and I know it won't happen, is that you don't need to go hell for leather and concentrate on American football, all these concerts and sports events, X, Y, Z, and all this, that, and the other, because it's in place now. It's going away. Nobody's fucking going to up sticks it and move it. It's there. It ain't going to change. It's there now. So you just carry on going. You know what I mean? The concerts are going to roll in. The stadium's not going to change. You carry on going with the NFL. They've got the contracts. They need to start looking at the football team and the club itself. Fundamentally, we are fucking down with the whole of the fucking club. We've sat there and said we've got the training ground. We've got fucking a cracking stadium. But there's no point having that stadium if it's 3/4 full and half of them don't know which fucking side's fucking Spurs. You're drowning out. You're actually drowning out the fucking Spurs fans. And at the end of the day, they're the ones that are paying top fucking dollar for their season tickets, the away support. They travel home and fucking away, mate. They're fucking digging out blind. So they've got a fucking right to be pissed off with what they're watching. They don't want to watch any of that fucking bollocks that's going on and players not giving their fucking 100% and all. I just want to see the club start fucking something needs to stop and go, right, we need to look at what we've got now. What can we fucking change? And I think, first of all, regardless of whether we win the Europa League or not, I don't think Ange can fucking stay. I heard people today saying, well, if he wins the Europa League, he's got to fucking stay. But why does he have to stay? If he stays, in my opinion, I think we will be in exactly the same position next year, and and if we win the Europa League, right, we're going to get absolutely hammered in the Champions League because we'll just get ripped to fucking part. And I think we'll be in exactly the same position looking at fucking relegation. And you can't tell me that the likes of Leeds and Burnley and all that lot are going to be as flimsy as what Leicester and fucking Ipswich and all that lot, even though they've beaten us, those teams at the bottoms. I think we need to look at recruitment. We need to look at who we actually want to bring in as fucking players. We need to look at the school. Everything needs to be looked at, mate, from top to bottom. Yeah. It needs to be looked at.
Today, as it goes.
Huh?
If someone said that to me today, they said, "Oh, if they win the Europa League, he's got to stay." I said, "Listen, you can stumble your way to a cup win. You have to base your manager really on a season."
Yeah.
We've stumbled this far, to be fair, to the semi-finals, haven't we?
We've got away this season. 3 teams below us because they beat us anywhere else. We've got away with it at the moment. West Ham are below us, but we've got away with it with those teams being absolutely fucking shite. We have got away with one this season because I tell you what, we'll be fucking relegated. Fucking 100%, we'd be fucking relegated.
The silver lining, though, in it, Simon, is that if a new manager, well, hopefully, when a new manager comes in, he can look at that squad and think, I can do something with this, because it's not a poor squad, is it?
The thing is at the moment we've only got one way of playing.
Yeah.
No matter what the game is, no matter who the opponent is, whether we're winning, losing, there's only one way of playing, and there isn't really that tactical ability to kind of change the game around. And that's the bit that's really starting to grate with me, is that it doesn't matter what the game is, who the opponent is, we play exactly the same way. And you can't do that for everybody.
No.
And and you can see that if something's not working in a game, you change it, but we don't. We just keep going and hope it eventually starts to work. And a lot of times it don't.
Most of the time it
I think Angie's system demoralises players, and that's evident over this season. That's so evident.
Well, I think. What do you think, John? I think this, Dan. I think I've said it before. His way of playing, his only way of playing. The players probably love it in mediocre leagues. He's now come to a proper league. Unfortunately for him, the hardest league in the world, and he doesn't know how to adapt. Do you agree, John?
I think we just got a lot of mediocre players, and we're relying on youngsters to boost our squad, to be honest with you. And
you think we need some more players?
I think, yeah, if he wants to play that style of football, he needs at least 6 class players, doesn't he? 2 up front, 2 in the middle, and 2 behind. We're so used to mediocrity.
Yeah,
we're picking up fucking shit players, aren't we? In reality,
my opinion is if we get an half decent manager in, you need 2 wingers. This is just a start in the summer. 2 wingers, which I've been saying for all season, and another striker. Because I was quite surprised to see that Cunha from Wolves has virtually agreed to join Man United. Well, I don't know why we ain't being there, because that's what I think we need, a striker like him.
I think that if they don't win if they're not in the Champions League, he ain't fucking going there, mate.
No.
I don't reckon he will.
But that's what I think, Dad. If we get an half decent manager in next year, I don't think the squad's that bad. I think you could get 2 wingers in and a striker, and an half decent manager would have us challenging. I do think that. I don't think.
Well, we thought that in the past, though, and we've had Mourinho and Conte in, and it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, but this team, I think, better players in this team, isn't it? Romero's obviously said he's going today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got Kulusevski, Bentancur, you got Van der Ven. We probably wouldn't get injured half as much.
Yeah, but you think about these players, right? I was thinking about it today, and I'm thinking, how many of those players actually look at this season and think, "Do I want to stay?" What's? They're not going to know whether the manager's going to be sacked or not. They're not going to know who's going to be coming.
I think
they'll be thinking about
in the Europa League, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
And if Ange goes.
Yeah, I mean, Cooties been a bit fucking naughty with what he's fucking doing anyway, and his agent and shit and all that lot, and coming out with bollocks like that.
You don't do that now.
Fuck me, you just don't do it.
I think, you could come in and an half-decent manager could come in and go, right, this is the way we're going to play. Just say Romero's gone. Danzo, you're going to start with Mickey Van der Ven. You've got Spence there. You've got Porro there. Your doggies there. You could put Gray in midfield pre-season with Bergvall, for example, yeah? Let them play. Buy a couple of wingers and a striker, and away you go. That's why I'm surprised that Cunha has chosen Man United. Because if I was a manager looking at Spurs' squad and Man United's squad, Manchester United squad's a lot worse than ours.
But if you was a player, Lou, would you really want to come to a club that's owned by Levy and Joe Lewis?
I don't know.
I don't think they care too much about that. I think that
I think as a player,
you want to be challenging for something, and they know that they're not going to get that.
I don't think Man United are any better. But the thing is with Man United, even when they're playing shit, they always seem to win a trophy, don't they? But that's just my opinion. I just don't think our squad is bad. I really don't. When you look at it, if you was the manager side and you looked at Spurs' squad and looked at Man United's squad, you'd surely want to join Tottenham.
I mean, this is the thing, right? That is not a bad squad. It's not like they've got world-class players in it, but there's a lot of very good players in that squad.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of very good players playing very poorly at the moment. And I think that's the problem with it is that it's not that they're bad players, they're just good players playing badly.
Don't you think it's a lot to do with this?
I don't know whether it's because they don't buy into what Ange's doing, whether they did buy into it and it's kind of just clocked out. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
I don't know what is going on, but you would think that there's enough equality in that squad for a player, for a manager to get something out of them.
Yeah, there is.
And that's why. And I know half the season we've had like 10, 12, however many injuries going on. But you look prior to the injuries, we weren't doing that great. You look post injuries, the players coming back, we're not getting any better. And you look last season, we up until the Chelsea game, we were absolutely flying. Got 2 people sent off, 2 people injured in that one game. Then it's like the wheels all fell off. Then it got more and more injuries. Players came back, and it's the same thing. Yeah. Players come back, and nothing changes.
I think you're right there, Simon. The second one you said, they did buy into it. They thought it was exciting. They had them first 10 games, and now it's gone wrong. But I'm not just saying this. If you look back on a lot of my videos or talk to people I've spoken to, I was one that didn't get really excited by those first 10 games because I could see that we were still, I don't know if you can remember that far back now. But
we were stealing games at that point.
We were still conceding loads of chances. Do you know what I mean? We were lucky. It's not going to work in this league, I don't think, and that's it. He's only having a few problems there. Who do you want to see come in then, John, in the summer, manager-wise?
I ain't got a fucking clue, Lou.
It's a tough one.
Fucking clue.
Any ideas, lads?
And the thing is like we've tried everything.
Does it matter?
See, that's the thing when someone asks you, isn't it? Who do you want to see? And Simon was, I know what he was going to say. We've tried the best managers.
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody's
we've done everything. We've tried. We're way back. If you think back to like AVB, and he was like the new greatest thing, and that was a fucking disaster.
I hated
and it's just like, and then we went, and then we got Poch in, and we got lucky for a couple of years. They were recruiting, and we were doing the right things, and then it just stopped back in Poch, and let the whole thing rot, and that was definitely Levy's fault at that point.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Poch was saying, look, we are weeks, months away from needing a massive rebuild here. And Levy went the other way, went 2 windows without buying anyone. And that's where the rot comes back from there. And we've just never recruited properly since.
It's weird, because I don't think that what's his name? Iola from Bournemouth. I think he's staying there. Silver's come to favourites now, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd take Thomas Frank. There's managers in that Premier League that I would take.
There's not one person at this moment in time that actually stands out massively. That's going to make a massive difference. Other than they're going to change the formation, get the players to do something different. I mean, fuck's sake, they're talking about Man United are going to sack fucking Hammer on at the end of the fucking season. I mean, what the fuck's that all about? Talk about destroying a manager.
That's stupid. Well, remember I told you yesterday that there's strong rumours, which I did ignore last week, but there's rumours that Mourinho might be coming back. I can't see that.
I heard that. And I
no way.
That in the
I can't see Mourinho's. He'd turn around and say, piss off. You sat me before I was going to win you a cup, because that's what he'd say. He's arrogant.
Yeah, well, that was all to do with that fucking win bonus.
Yeah, I reckon.
Sacking him the week before a cup final, he is not coming back here. Even if we wanted him,
he's the best manager to have for a cup final, isn't he, to be honest? Even if you're playing Manchester City.
Yeah.
He could probably grind you out a win, Mourinho. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I haven't heard that Ruben Amorim one. But if they do that, Manchester United need to stick with him by hook or by crook for 3 years. Because
the geezer's not a miracle worker. What do they expect him to do?
That's what I just said tonight. His squad is absolute pony. They've let that Ten Hag completely. That's what I just said. Our squad on paper, anyway, is better than Manchester United's, which is I can't understand why Cunha's gone there. Have they offered him a whole heap of money? How? Because they haven't got the money. I don't understand. But because we need someone like that.
Until I see him fucking wearing a Man United shirt and standing on that pitch, I'll believe it. I mean, I have seen it that he's chosen and agreed to go there, but mate, that's all fucking media. That's all paper.
Do you have him at Tottenham? Any of you lot?
Yeah, I'd have him at Tottenham.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think a lot for us.
There's not many about, Dan, is there, strikers? To be fair, anymore.
But I think a lot's going to be decided on how we do in the next. In the Europa League. If we win that, we can attract a better caliber of player. Are they going to want to come and play under this manager? No. They're still doing things as they are. I don't think so.
Do you know one of the biggest things that's missing though?
Go on, sir.
So Kane and Son in his prime, they covered. So papered over so many cracks in this club.
Yeah.
The fact that pair of players, the best partnership that the Premier League's ever seen.
Yeah.
One's gone and the other one's past his prime, and then there's no way we can fill that gap. The only way we can do it is by elevating the whole squad at this point, because those quality of players, Levy isn't spending that sort of money. We have to look for diamonds in the dirt. And that's the problem. We don't buy ready-made players.
We need to have players that want to play for Tottenham, play for the badge. And unfortunately,
we got lucky that Harry Kane turned out to be the player he turned out to be. Really,
yeah.
Because at the start, they were looking to offload him. They were loading him here, there, and everywhere.
Have
Leighton, Norwich, God knows where else.
Have you seen that interview, Simon, with Tim Sherwood? And he basically said, "Don't pick him because we've got." I can't remember the name of the club now. And Levy had put the yes stamp on selling him for $600,000. Harry Kane. They were that close to letting him. That says it all to me. You need a football man to replace Levy if he's going to get involved.
Levy don't.
You know who else we didn't replace?
You could keep Levy there. He just needs to keep his nose out on the football side.
Yep.
Yeah. We never did replace.
We never replaced Dembele.
He was the biggest fucking loss. Let's face it. I've said this before. Conte said it as it was.
Yeah.
Nothing will change.
Maybe we can. Maybe Levy will get him back. He didn't want to come in the first place, did he?
It took an extra 6 months of fucking persuading him, didn't it? And a few
If we do get in the Champions Leagues, I'm going to be shitting myself every time we play in the Champions League next season if you don't get rid of Ange, because we are going to get spanked, man. 1,000,000%. You cannot play
that. They got
way.
Fucking spanked in the Champions League.
Celtic did, didn't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got proper spanked, didn't they?
Yeah, and he was like, he came out with praise. I think they lost to Madrid 5-1. He still thinks his system. No, he's got to go. He's got to go, mate. Yeah, I haven't got much more to say tonight, lads. To be honest with you, look forward to Liverpool. I'll say 5-0. That one. That'll be 5-0 to Liverpool. I'll say that now. I'll have £1 of that. If anyone's brave enough.
Go on then, Lou. I'll let you up £2 on that one. We're going to win 4-1.
We're going to win?
Yeah, fuck it. We're Spurs. Come on.
Get on, mate.
I'm going to be as deluded as fucking Ange today.
Oh, could you imagine it if I've got to come back on here next week and they've beaten them 5-1?
Well, this is my prediction that there is going to be at least 5 goals in the game, and I'll be surprised if we get any of them.
Yeah. See?
So a great result going into Europa League, and fucking that just fucks the whole fucking players' minds up and everything. And VICARIO collapsed everything.
Don't bother with momentum. Don't bother with trying to build momentum. Let's just fuck the season up.
Fucking go studs high a couple of times at our players and get away with it.
What are you saying then, Dan? I can't hear. What do you say? 3-0. Is that all? What was that half time? Half time, Dan?
Nah,
not doing half time.
I don't think they'll stamp all over us. To be honest, I just don't think they will.
They'll go a couple of goals up and then just chill and celebration.
I don't think they'll fucking.
And do you think, before we go, do you think, any of you, that we'll make a lot of changes? He's got to, and surely. He's got to.
I don't understand what his plan was in playing Romero and fucking Van der Ven for 45 minutes to then take him off.
John,
We won
do you
that.
think
If it was a game of 2 halves, we won the second half.
Yeah, I think he'd play the kids at Liverpool.
I do think that.
No, I think he should, but I don't think he will.
Oh, dear.
I don't think he's got a fucking clue what he's going to fucking do. I don't think he knows who he can trust to do anything.
That's the truth. That's the truth, Dan.
He hasn't got a fucking clue. The bloke hasn't got... Every interview is exactly the same. His head's down. Oh, yeah, well, it's another game that we shouldn't have lost. You know what I mean? Another game that we shouldn't have lost.
Coming on, it ain't been as bad as I thought it was. So I didn't get as much shit as I thought you lot was going to give me. So we'll roll on to Liverpool.
I mean, what new shit can we come up with? It's just the same old shit.
Yeah. No, I thought I was going to get loads of shit off you because I didn't think we was that bad last night. I just thought,
we weren't bad, but we weren't good either.
No, we weren't bad. But
we were awful for 20 minutes,
and
then we were okay for the rest.
Could have been a lot worse. Like I said, if that geezer had scored, he should have scored that Gibbs. And a lot of Spurs fans on YouTube and that have been saying that they want that Gibbs to come to us. I'm still undecided about it. But he's not a bad player. But again, I don't think if you're starting to go for them sort of players that are decent, we've already got them. We need the level above, but we ain't going to get because we're not good enough.
You're looking at we're looking at mediocre players again, aren't we?
Yeah,
because
they
can't get anyone.
Mediocrity, isn't it, of Spurs?
No one's going to want to come on. We do have to win this Europa League, and then Levy can say to this new manager, whoever it is, "This is a squad you've got. You're going to be in Champions League. They're going to die. You might be able to attract a decent manager if you're in the Champions League."
So here's one then. So if Frank does come in,
yeah. If what? Frank Lampard?
Fuck off! I'm betting on Southgate.
He'd get assassinated, man.
Oh God, that's who they reckon's could come into Man United if Amaron goes Southgate. Anyway, that's another story.
Oh, they'll be bored.
So if Thomas Frank comes in, right? Do you reckon how many of their players do you reckon he's going to try and bring over? He'll definitely try and bring that Mbamba. What's his name?
The big fella.
Bremo,
yeah.
Listen, I don't know. I'd like to see young managers given a chance, but he's not young, but you know, experience in the Premier League. But I suppose he'd love to come to the Champions League, but he'd probably make us. But as I said, that level of manager could improve us easily. Because as I keep saying,
but he'll change the format.
Well, look at this.
He'll change the system.
Yeah, that's all you got to do, man.
Can it get much worse?
No.
It's at this point, I'm open to ideas. I'm open to trying something new.
We don't lose 18 games next year.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it, man?
I mean, the fact that there's 38 games in a season, we've already lost 18, and we've still got 5 left.
We're going to lose another 3, aren't we?
And I can't see us winning any of those 5.
So we're going to at least 20 defeats in a season, more than half the games.
We got to keep smiling, though, lads. Eh?
That's it, Lou.
Brighton,
That is officially our worst Premier League season, though, right?
Yeah.
It already is now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shit. Yeah.
Or is it one more
20.
defeat to match Aussie?
Yeah, one more defeat to match Aussie, but we've got 5 games left, haven't we?
Yeah.
And Aussie was a nightmare. That's him.
But this was the thing. At least we were losing 4-3 all the time. We were scoring shitloads of goals.
But
I was just playing the Christmas tree.
He didn't care, did he? 5 up front, boom, go. Oh. All right then, boys. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see what happens at Anfield. We can win the Europa League, keep the faith, and shalom.
Shalom, Lou.
Good evening to you all.
See you later.
See you later, lads.